that we discussed over the phone. Let's talk about this Meek Mill Nike thing. As us being
Yeah,
PR people, I mean, you more PR than me, but I had to take PR classes in undergrad.
we both did.
Yeah. So Meek Mill, if
We
people
took
that don't
ethics
know,
and media law.
yeah. And media
Break it
law class
down.
was a bitch. I'm telling you that was the hardest one to me. Um,
Okay. Can I say media law was only hard because honestly, I was like too heavy into my relationship. I missed a
oh
couple,
damn.
and so I was taking a 6-week class or 8-week class, and so it's that three
Yep.
4 hour night class.
Oh, so you didn't take it spaced out like a regular
So I ended up doing that.
okay.
What happens because I had to take it again. Nigga, the dick was too bomb. I shouldn't honestly. And then look at me now, like he's like, oh, y'all should know. Absolutely not.
All right, so let's get into it. Meek
Okay.
Mill is publicly criticizing Nike over LeBron James' Dreams and Nightmares collection, claiming that the sportswear giant appropriated his intellectual property and branding. The rapper expressed his frustration that Nike and LeBron released the apparel and LeBron 23 secret without consulting him. We talked
Okay.
about this a little bit over the phone, and we forgot to talk about this. But this is important because I think this is something that actually is educational for people. I mean, if we don't get to some other topics, fine, but this is educational. So I think this is a good sessions to kick off with before we get into the stuff. But go ahead.
Nigga, this is made into Women's Wear Daily.
I'm sorry.
So this whole Meek Mill Nike
Yeah.
Women's Wear Daily is like a reputable publication. So it's just interesting that like certain things that we look at as like hip hop culture, like black, like it happens all the time, but this is a big deal. It's really mainstream to make it into Women's Wear Daily, which I've been featured in their other publication, Beauty Inc. at BeautyCon a few years back with my long blonde hair and my blue lipstick. But I say all that to say, we talked about this. I hit you up because as it was brought to the forefront and I posed several questions to you. Is this copyright infringement? Are they infringing upon his brand, his copyright? But we find out that a trademark was filed recently by Meek Mill and his team regarding dreams and nightmares, which is shocking, by the way, because
That it
this is
wasn't already done.
exactly niggas don't know, but whatever. So he took to Twitter and said to express his displeasure with Nike for using the moniker commonly associated with him. So Nike just gonna take my whole brand and mash it up with LeBron. He wrote, "What is this? Why couldn't anybody holler at me? I thought this." He said, "I thought the sneakers were fake." So as the booming opener to his 2012 album of the same name, Dreams and Nightmares, is popular in both music worlds and the sports world. Pitchfork put it. People said mad at me about bringing up the Pitchfork article, but we're gonna go back to Pitchfork. Put it at number 2 for its list of best songs of the 2010s, and it served as the anthem for the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl run in 2018.
What they put as number one? Do you know? Let me look at it. Go ahead.
I don't know. But the LeBron 23 Dreams and Nightmares released Tuesday as part of Nike's ongoing series of 23 colorways tied to the different moments in James's career. So as it is with all other sneakers, a coordinated basketball and graphic t-shirt also went up for sale. So yeah, so this is an interesting conversation surrounding this. And so yeah, so what's weird about it is like we said, for them to do a collaboration with like this, why not just call Meek Mill? We know, especially like and walk with me, especially knowing that LeBron James and Drake are no longer friends. So it would be interesting to see this come together. I don't know, was it something that potentially, because we know that Nike also has Drake on their roster, but is it a thing where we're like, we don't want to make Drake upset, and we have a whole beef falling out with Drake, and he's turning around trying to sue us. So I find that interesting that a call wasn't placed to him. But I want to know this, like, as we talk about, I want to make sure I say this, have the correct information. Copyright. And so I'm trying to look it up because I just want to make sure
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
I want to make sure that we have this right. And so, yes, so Meek Mill did not file the trademark for this until 10 days ago. So he doesn't hold it. So we are correct. He does not hold it.
Oh, so he just filed for it, so it doesn't even exist yet.
So, and we know that you and I spoke about this. Nike checked this before they likely did it, but I still think it's fucked up.
It's fucked up, but
it's hella fucked up. So, guys, technically, in the sense, because we know this to be affiliated with this person, and now there's no trademark, so they're not infringing technically upon his copyright. He is on the street level. Nike is for sure.
Yes, exactly.
They are.
There you go. Yep.
So in the sense of this, because we know this to be his moniker, it is his top song. It has transcended across different genres, like we said,
and generations. You know how many kids like to come out to that for like Xander was dancing for Judy Best, like did the graduation for all the girls. Every 3 girls came out to that as their last song, and these girls, this is only 3 years ago.
Okay, so with that said, since there is no legal trademark, technically, does his body of work become his technically poor man's copyright? And for people, I want people to know what poor man's copyright is. And it's pretty much, you don't legally go through the process to file. In this case, he would technically mail, date, sign, whatever, get him possibly notarized or whatever, mail it to himself. That gives him the copyright. But in this case, since it's been everywhere, this is now his IP.
But
we don't know if he just
filed
the trademark.
Now, Rick Ross had into a situation with the real Rick Ross over this similar situation like this. Rick Ross tried to the old drug dealer, Rick Ross tried to sue Rick Ross and lost because his name was public.
Yeah.
Because remember, at one point, Rick Ross was going by Ricky Rose while that court case was going on. If you remember, he changed his name for a minute to Ricky Rose.
Okay.
Because they had put an injunction on him from using the name Rick Ross.
Okay.
Until the court case was over.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where it's open, and if you didn't trademark it and only 10 days ago, it makes it look like you only did it because Nike dropped something.
Or maybe he wasn't aware of how important it was. No one told him which is crazy. I don't know what his team looked like. But like, we know that he's previously been selling merchandise with this. Like, he has profited off of this. But I'm also really interested to know from the Nike standpoint and from the LeBron standpoint, why wouldn't you partner with Meek Mill? Like, it only makes sense. It literally it makes sense because LeBron, that's not your brand.
I'm just wondering if it was a financial thing, like I told you, like, or Meek. Let's say Meek didn't know, and let's say I'm his manager, the agent. They holler at me and they be like, "Hey man, we really want to get Meek involved with this Dreams and Nightmares themes, LeBron, blah blah blah." Or as I'm thinking this through, 2 things could have happened. One could have been they wanted more involved, or he wanted more involvement in stuff that was going off, like a video or commercials and merch and all this.
I mean, it would make sense.
But Nike may not want to cut that check. That's what I'm saying. Now,
yeah, I mean, I would think that as just it. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of weird on LeBron James's part, as a whole, because that's not necessarily his moniker. Like, that's not your brand, and then to do, and not saying that somebody's music can't be your, like, clearly you've had played that in your headphones in a finals game, probably multiple times if we could be completely honest. But for me to take something that has been so impactful in the last 10, 12 years, you know what I mean? And just put your name on it is weird. It's weird. I mean, and it's almost as weird as us knowing that he don't know the lyrics to a lot of songs and not reading books. Like when he's supposed to be reading Malcolm X. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, it doesn't make sense. He didn't need to do this. So like, why not also like you know, like I get your standpoint because it's similar to what what just happened to Keith Lee and the project, like what was some project with the Wayans brothers or something, whomever it was, and they asked for like some 6-figure number or
Right.
and it wasn't. He was like, wait a second, I didn't sign off on that, I didn't do that or whatever, that never made it to me, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So the
Yep.
deal with that person that on the receiving end,
But I think that, he might have a case though, a de
he
facto
might,
case.
but I'm saying like we all know that because it causes, so in this case, guys, so we're gonna add another term. This is customer confusion.
Good one. Yep. Yep.
Because to the average person that might not even know that this is now a thing, they might say, "Oh shit, yeah, I caught this T-shirt because it's like that Meek Mill LeBron James T-shirt or the sneakers. They got a collab." And in this case, this nigga even thought the shit was fake. I didn't know that this was a real. So now you're causing customer confusion. And then you could even probably go as far as, which I mean, in this case, it technically wouldn't, but it would be customer dilution because now it dilutes Meek Mill's
Whatever you have to
brand.
do. But then I'm gonna flip it back on Meek, and then like you said, the people around you, you hanging out with the billionaire dude that owns the Sixers and all this kind of stuff. How didn't they be like, hey, Meek, do you have trademark on Dreams and Nightmares? Why didn't nobody not? I mean, maybe they did. I don't know. But like he's hanging with the guy that owns not Lids, the hat company, New Era, the hat company, and he owns the Philadelphia 76ers, and he's the one that helped them get out of jail as well. Peace to that
Right.
brother for that. He's the one that people saying he be culture vulture too, though, hanging out with black people for his white party.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but I'm thinking he is all about. He has to get trademark to get all this sports stuff.
But
But maybe
but
he did. I don't know.
but also,
And he hanging out with Robert Kraft,
and you hanging out with Jay-Z and them.
That's
Jay-Z,
what I'm trying to figure out how you
so
already.
I'm like, how did nobody say, hey, like this is your thing? This is an iconic.
I know you don't want to spend that $100,000 to do it, but go ahead and do it.
Well, now it costs them more.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if he did it back then and got it copyright registered, because there's different levels to.
Yeah, because it would have been nothing, maybe a couple $100, if that.
No. Get it registered, like with the R, is a different price. That you got to have lawyers go through it. They get to check everybody in the world to see if anybody owns a Dreams and Nightmares anyway. It's like a long process.
Yeah, but I mean, but just to have the like the copyright.
Yeah, no. He could have got that easily, but I'm supposed to register.
And
where
then
you really
you go and you do the next.
But Nike wouldn't even have done this if he had a register. They would have been. Now, some could think on the back end he could get a de facto judgment out of them because they just don't want to deal with this and be like, "Fuck it, Meek, here go $200,000."
Dreams and Nightmares is worth more than that.
I'm just saying they could. Does Meek take that if they just like, you know what, we fucked up. We'll cut you a check for $200,000 right now, Meek, if you just drop your lawsuit or whatever you're trying to do. Yeah. We'll make you right. We'll make you
right. But that's even if he goes as far as suing him. I don't know if at this point, I don't know.
Because a lawyer gonna charge you per hour or two for something, and that might go on for 3, 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah, I don't think for him.
Yeah, good point.
I would just be like, I would send that. What they should do is just first send the cease and desist. Like you have to kind of start there, or just say at this point it's already, they not gonna pull it. Nike gonna want their money for whatever was produced for that anyway. So at this point, they should just be polite and like you said, cut him something. But $200,000 is Chump Change, considering how much Meek Mill has profited off of that song alone.
I mean,
But this goes back to us talking about, like we said, handling your business and being aware, because you just never know what it is. Because you remember when Drea when British was on Basketball Wives. So Dre used to have this line. I don't know if she still has it. Finance girls. Because that was a whole nother thing, and it's the abbreviation for it. But British found out, went to see if she had that copy, like trademarked all that, and she didn't. And British bought it.
Oh.
So technically, anything she did under that, British could send the cease and desist to.
Oh, damn.
But she was nice enough to give it to her. But I was like, man, that could have been your line the whole, like, that next season. That would have secured. I'm like, girl, I would have had that secure my seat as the next season. But I ain't giving you shit. This is my storyline. Are we just gonna be going to war about me consistently sending you a cease and desist, bitch?
Oh man. All right, let's get into it. Since we're talking about Meek Mill, we gotta talk about Jay-Z's freestyle at the Roots picnic this past weekend. I'm gonna play it here, and then me and Dom are gonna discuss it because I think it's interesting.
Hey y'all, if y'all like what y'all see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with your friends because we got all the tea. And if you want to check out more stuff from us, be sure to hit that button right there on the right side so you can see other stuff and again share with everybody.